All right.
Mhm.
Welcome back to GPS Podcast. We're back again. Happy New Year in terms of the Chinese Lunar New Year to all
Sure.
of you. Of course, we ourselves are not Chinese. Read the disclaimer. This is all our own perspective. And we
I
still
was gonna
respect
make an unfortunate
the
joke, but
culture
okay,
and
let's continue.
we still respect the culture. And
Mm,
so we're here to talk about it from our own lens, from our own
yeah.
perspective. Of course, 2025 is a 9 year. So
hmm
that's interesting because we just had the year of the dragon and then it's a 9 year, which is a dragon number. And nine also means a completion of some kind. So we're going to go through some kind of a cycle and
Yes.
come around.
Yes.
So yeah, super interesting. What's coming up for you in terms of this year?
Hmm. Starting with fundamentals, what do we know about this year? We know it's the wooden snake. We know it's a year of fire. We know it's a year of Haru, which is focus. All right.
Right.
Based on those facts, you need to, and I recommend all the viewers of this podcast, an episode. Do your own research. Make sure you check out your natal chart, maybe even Vedic if you have the chance, and start to do some self-studying on what you need for this year. I will say those of you who are of the pig zodiac, regardless of whatever element you have, this is your year to grind. This is your year to plant seeds. Don't be
Mm.
expecting anything major. This is the year that you lift heavy weights. Not
Is
flashy weight.
is the pig year the enemy year of the snake or something? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, because my
Yeah.
little brother's a pig year, so I have to. Oh, well, good luck with that, Martis, because if you're also a pig, this is the year where you have to plant. This is not a year where you do anything flashy or try to get fame. This is time to grind. We will later share our findings with you depths, of course.
Right.
Then you have the element of fire. Now,
Mm.
wood feeds fire. The problem with
Mm.
fire is you might be overly aggressive. It will affect certain organs. In this case, primarily, according to my research, please do check me on this. I am not an expert in this. This is what I've managed to do in 1 or 2 days of research. It seems the gut will affect the respiratory systems, etc. So do make sure that you handle your gut biome. That's something that we've,
Mm.
you
Yeah.
and I submit. Have heard from
Probiotics, yeah.
previous probiotics. Have heard from other healers that this is a major issue for
Yeah.
us, both of us. So I recommend you
Yeah.
double down. My way of doubling down is kombucha, apple cider, a lot of that, and becoming more aware of what is really just wrecking my gut biome, and it has to do with a lot of processed food. Okay, this month was the month where I was trying to understand, okay, what are my knacks, right? When do I get sugar cravings? Oh, fuck, it's when I get tired. So instead of eating sugar, I just go for a
Mm.
walk and maybe go to bed. Maybe go to bed early. Then I don't have to eat. Fantastic. So that means I have a small fast, plus I'm not eating sugar. Great. And then for the month of February, I'm gonna be consuming a little bit more cleaner. I still will be consuming some amount of artificial sugar because I do like gum, but everything else is off the table. So that's what I
Yeah.
have to say about that. Anything else would be this January, you have like a few days left to finish in whatever sense, at least the foundation of your vision board.
Mm.
For me, it would be based on last night's channeling is to create a character or become that character, better said, that can handle any stress, etc. that this year will
Yeah.
gift me.
Like the
And
anti-fragile kind of in a sense. It's really
yeah,
interesting because the wood snake, right, is it's yin wood. So if you look at the actual Chinese astrology, there's like yang or yin. So it's yin wood, which means that it means subtle strength, like thoughtful strategy,
intuition,
uh,
etc. Yeah.
introspection, yeah. So rebirth is a huge theme this year because the snake sheds its skin,
Yes.
shedding the cycles and the natures of life. So if you
Yes.
have any ideas of if you want to challenge yourself, actually, guys, go to
Hmm.
spiritualmasterychallenge.com. That's where we have our a 5 day challenge. Tap into that because that's going to get the ball rolling for you. There's
That's
dragon
correct.
yoga on the first day, so you're already going to get into the physical, and then we'll slowly start going day by day. And
Right.
it'll show up to your mailbox email, so just check if it's in spam and get
Yes.
started.
Yes. We could talk a little bit more about that later. What I would say about this year is this year is going to be for most of us is going to be the winter arc year. This is time to
Mm.
focus on what is priority to you. Simplify it as much as you can and just get the job done. Even if it's, getting healthier. If that's the only goal you want to focus on, good enough, man. Get it done. If this year's all about stellar strength, then you don't need to show it off this year. This year is not about getting confidence. It's about skill development. The world doesn't need to see you shine just yet. Time to build. There will be other zodiacs that are extremely lucky this year. I'm talking
Mm.
about the rat is going to be very lucky, according to my research,
Yay.
very lucky,
Shout out to the Roosters as well. We're gonna be
and the
hella
roosters,
wealthy. Yeah.
uh,
Wealth
this
gang.
the snake, although it is your year, you will be faced with snake-specific challenges. I don't know exactly what it will be. My mom
Mm.
and my little sister are snakes, and that's going to be interesting. And for me, if you have 5 stars, mine would be two, 2.5. So it's like a middle ground kind of situation. But then I read an interesting comment somewhere. The attitude you should have, given the cards that you've been granted for this year, is you can always choose to color the gaps in whatever way you see fit. So that's what I'm going to do. So what if, some parts are only 1 star, other parts are more? Who gives a damn? It's still up to you to decide how you apply yourself,
So
right?
Ryan, do you still have that thing you shared with me where you can't wash your hair or whatever? Was that on Instagram that you sent that?
Yeah, it was an Instagram thing, so I'll just read it out loud, man.
Yeah. I think that'd be
From
useful for the audience.
let's see, what's a good one? So this is from the Instagram page. In Car Incantati, Year of the Snake. You have do's and don'ts of this year. I also recommend you look up do's and don'ts for new moons, by the way, because today is a new moon day. So for the snake
Mm.
year, what can you expect? Is balance, ups and downs in the snake year, maintain balance in life to navigate surprises. So regardless, you're gonna get surprises, but it's up to you to, as per the Primal Sutra way of doing things, regulate your nervous system, your thoughts, your emotion, your breath, because you can expect a roller coaster, I believe. Use
I have
positive
a tip
words.
for people who have the enemy year because I did this one year when it was my
Yep.
enemy year, I remember.
Here's some.
So basically, if you have a red string that you can tie around your hand and just wear it as like a bracelet or something, you're covered in terms of the red because red seems to magnetize fortune. You see it all the
Mm.
time in China, right? The red color magnetizes that life force energy. So if you wear it on your enemy ear, it's going to prevent any
Huh.
negativity coming your
But
way.
that
That's one of the
means,
beliefs. But of
but
course,
that
there's
also,
lucky colors to each zodiac too. So then it's like it gets complicated, but I
now,
guess stack it.
the reason why I prefer, beads and pendants and bracelets, it just fits a nice aesthetic. I'm thinking of getting for my new smartwatch, getting beaded straps, something
Mhm.
along those lines. That's a nice mix between modern and old technology. Anyway, let's continue with the list. From Incantary underscore. Use positive words. Say a lucky or positive words that can bring good fortune throughout the year. You should be doing this by definition. This is you wake up with positivity, you go to sleep with positivity. It is your duty
Right on.
to Not
You got to
only,
create it. You got to
yeah.
create it because it's not gonna fall in your lap like the
Yeah.
Disney movies, right?
I
You're
mean,
gonna go
just before.
outside and like, pigeons are gonna land on your hand. Like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah, those fucking crows. It's like a weekly thing at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Animals do follow us around though, so I don't think
yep,
that comment
yep,
is
yep.
valid anymore.
Right.
Okay,
Anyway,
moving on, moving on.
moving on.
Oh,
The
Christo.
point I'm trying
Yeah.
to make is
Extos. I call you Christos, bro.
keep
Keep
raising your
dropping
vibration
gems,
and stay
brothers.
in that pocket. Yeah. Thank you, Christos. We red clothing, everything red. Yep, wards of bad energy, brings good luck and protection. What shouldn't you do? So apparently today and tomorrow, do not wash clothes, do
Mm.
not wash your hair because you might offend probably the Chinese god of water.
Don't do your laundry today, bro. What the fuck?
Save it for the weekend, yeah, for Saturday or something.
Use water well.
Use
Yeah.
water well. Maybe
Respect
even do
water.
a water
Maybe
ritual
even.
today.
That's what I was just
Yeah,
thinking,
yeah, yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. So,
Ah, great
if you're gonna do
minds.
it, please do it towards the Indian god of. Okay, Montes,
Mm,
let's say you're not home. You are gonna stop
mm,
at a service station at some point. What you could do is have a cup of liquid, and you probably have a joint or a cigarette or a match, right? If you can hover the match just above the
mm.
water,
The
and
water.
before it burns you, you let it go, ending the ritual. You have technically done a floating candle ritual, although it's not actually a candle,
Mm,
because you're
candle.
in this
Right.
instead of a candle, you're burning the
Mm.
wood, symbolizing the element of
Yeah.
wood this
Mm,
year, being burned to the element of fire, being
right.
blessed by the energy
That's
of
for
water.
the that
Just,
one's for the that one's for the bliss junkies, right? Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
it's gonna look like you're a junkie, but you're doing for spiritual reasons.
Like try to make something out of one like a cup. Yeah. Yeah, straight up.
Uh, this is that a valid ritual for bringing blessings from the water element for Matis?
Well, yeah, man, as we learned from who said intention was king when we channeled. Yeah.
I think it was yesterday or
No, it was the
last week.
channeling before the last week. Saint
That was
Germain.
Saint
Yeah.
Germain.
Yeah.
Intention is king. Yes, well,
Absolutely.
intention and context fit together because within the context you have the intention, and the way I see intention is merely the crystallization of the context because the
Right.
context should, you know, portray the intention. When doing rituals of whatever form, hell, even if it's something physical like, a dance or grappling or you, doing an IT ticket request because the laptop doesn't work, whatever, right? Or shower
Yeah.
rituals, exactly, honor the water.
Shower ritual is a good idea. Though they are saying don't waste water to in the first day. So yeah.
Yeah, so be aware,
Mm. Yeah.
Which is probably the reason the deities did not want me to take that ocean plunge today. I'm assuming.
Mm. Could be possible.
That being said,
Yeah.
everything begins and ends with intention. Bring it with gratitude, etc., with your nature rock, etc. Intention is king, right? Do not sweep the floor, do not take out the trash. You might be carrying out misfortune.
These
Carrying out
people live
fortune,
like this already, like Ryan G.
right?
They don't take out the trash, you know?
What I personally did do is did blow out like nail clippings,
Mm. Oh yeah.
salt, coffee, what else am I forgetting? Cinnamon, because it's also New Year, so I'm not necessarily throwing anything
Mm.
out. I'm just welcoming something in. There's a difference. Do not
Right.
borrow any money today. It would mean a financially difficult year today. Um,
Mm.
which is kind of funny because someone paid his financial debt with me today, which I appreciate. Thank you, Akeem.
Mm.
Which means he's giving me the blessing of having a
You're
pretty
right.
good financial year, which I appreciate.
Hey. Yeah.
Anything else
That's
would be,
great.
of course, do your own research. What I also recommend is doing your own studies around the new moons do's and don'ts. This comes from Lida Path Love on Magic. I recommend you follow her on Instagram. Definitely do a Celtic spread today, or maybe see if you can do a new moon spread and just see
Hmm.
what the spirits say. Me, I am tempted to use cartomancy with the gold um poker deck I have, which is a tribute to Asmodeus. We call him BBA here, and to see where the fortune lies.
Hmm.
What I also did is for the adepts is an old sigil I used to finish my master thesis. Because coconut oil was on it, the sigil was pretty much gone, and I rewrote it with a like very thick marker to realign us with the proper energy, etc. Details I'll share later in the depth group. That shit just
Hmm.
exploded into a fire when I lit it. Right. So overall, I would say please do your research while you can. I can't see them the call magicians. I haven't over YouTube yet, but please do your research while you can. Um, I would even say um, today, this weekend is going to be probably the most important 4 days of this year.
Hmm.
Do your research. Make sure you have a lot of fun. Bring a lot of positivity in your life. Um, when conducting business, I would have said, Antique Sale was smart to do that, opening up an LSC, an independent LSC or whatever. No, an LSC for independent contractor on the last day of the Dragon Year.
Hmm.
And I would say Snake and Red are not a bad options either. Red because
Hmm.
it's the mastermind, but
Hmm.
the Snake is a strategist.
I
So
think this is a year of flow state, bro, because it's
yes,
adaptability, and the snake is basically the most adaptable creature. Like they can weave through. I think it's very interesting to even think that last year was Dragon Year, so that means we were more in
mhm,
the air elements and up in the air, and things were floating, like ideas were there. Now this year is like about groundedness because
mhm,
a snake goes with its belly on the ground, right?
yes,
And
hmm. Well,
and it slithers, so
mhm,
it cannot be easily caught if it's
mhm,
going in its own rhythm and its
mhm.
own flow. Yeah.
If this
There's
is
no
about
like
flow,
people, yeah, are going to trap me or like they're going to prevent my progress. That's not the mindset to have this year at all.
exactly. So
Um,
this is the year
yeah.
of the escape artist. This is the year of, you know what I mean?
Wrestling yourself out of a straitjacket.
It's
Totally.
exactly it, and you will
Yeah.
be put in that situation, and some zodiacs have it
Mm.
harder than others. Pigs are
Yeah,
not
man.
exactly known for escaping, neither are goats. We're as stubborn as they get. Roosters
Yeah.
maybe, rats definitely. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Um,
If someone has no idea about zodiac, just talking, we're like talking about
I would
animals.
definitely, if and maybe we should invest this year as well in finding a good Chinese zodiac
Mm.
reader via Etsy or some other platform because we have the Vedic one, we have the natal
Mm.
chart one. I would like to invest in that or summon or do a request via
Mm.
Dragon King and the
Mm.
Jade the Emperor, aka, at least how he wants to be called via this path working Heaven's Master. Uh,
He's
to
Mr.
get to
Heaven or Heaven Master, yeah.
Heaven's
So
Master.
he
Mr. Heaven
prefers
sounds
Heaven
cool.
Master. Mr.
Uh,
Heaven
sh-
is his, yeah.
it's more on a
Pseudonym.
no-to-no basis. Anyway, um, what I want to have is the right people. So this is a page I took from Frank Wright from Grail of the Serpent. Shout out to him. If you want a significantly more senior magic system, I would definitely invest in Grail of the Serpent. That's where I get my more logical
Right.
style of magic
That
from.
is, I would warn the audience because that is dark arts. So
That is the
you
Dark
just need
Arts.
that warning, right?
Heads
Because you
up.
don't want to just join something randomly. Like we are a
No.
very omnist path, so we will work with anybody,
Right.
right? But then there's certain paths that are just one way. So you gotta really decide if you want to leap over to that,
So do you mean
become
shadow or
Darth
actually
Vader.
dark? Because there's a slight
Um,
difference.
I think the two interweave at times.
Hmm.
That's just my perspective. So I think the shadow and the dark are they play like like a game, like hide and seek or like tug of war or
I
like
mean,
they sort of have these moments where you can get duped. This is why you need someone professional like Frank, to guide you
yes,
through that. Yeah.
absolutely. If it wasn't for Frank, I would have had a significantly harder time controlling whatever
Yeah.
darkness that I have. And well, I
That's
have a
why,
talent for
yeah,
it,
Mathis is right. It's called a calling, like where you're called towards it. It's, yeah,
which
totally.
is funny, right? Because two things. That's why I need a guy like you to keep me in check, because else I would have gone
Mm,
an extremely destructive route. Because we have had some very
mm,
dark conversations
mm,
with the things that I would like to do to some people and some entities because they
mm,
fuck around too much. And I still do believe they deserve what's coming to them. But we'll see. That being said, this is the year where you close whatever storylines you have, whatever chapters that need to be closed. For me, it
mm.
would be closing chapters around my career, relationships, family, especially because this is the year that I am going to take a step of moving out, getting a higher salary, getting a mortgage for a very decent apartment, start building my
Yeah. I
life
think a
around
lot
it.
of people right now are in that transitional phase of going from
Mm.
work, finding new work or new career paths that really help them or accelerate them forward. I've heard it from multiple people who are going through a similar situation now because the job market is changing now. And
Yeah.
I truly believe in the future there will be new earth job titles. Like
Hmm.
new spiritual roles will open up
Yeah.
as it will be needed. So you got
Yes.
to pivot, man. You got to be the snake. You got to pivot. You got to be
Yeah.
adaptable and weave
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Improvise shamanism.
If
Mm,
to make an example, right? Or to give an example, you imagine you're a dancer and you tend to
mm,
dance in crowds often, right? And you, as assuming you're a man, or identify as one at least, or are the leading figure within the dance, you're not just leading the dance and her, giving her a frame so she can demonstrate her beauty, but you're also paying attention to your surrounding. If you see people flaring up their elbows, there's a strong chance either you or your partner or both might get smashed in the face. So that's probably not a good place to dance. You have to maneuver your way out of that scenario.
mm.
Same thing with wrestling, same thing with your career,
Yeah.
even though
You
it
got to
might
walk
not be
like
your
you're in New
fault.
York, basically. You got to walk like this. You got like you're in New York City.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's a fair statement. But what I'm really trying to say is things that might happen this year might not be your fault. But because it is
Mm,
your life, it is your business, that's your responsibility to get yourself into a better position.
mm.
Get to the high ground, whatever it costs. As long as you're willing to
Right.
pay for it, of course. For me, it would be I have to choose between fixing my teeth, because my frontal teeth are growing in weird ways right now, or
Oh.
investing more in grappling. I heard it
Mm,
via whatever, the dentist. Yeah, that's what it's called.
mm.
And
Yeah, I got to make
that could,
wise investments, man.
right,
Yeah.
better make wise investment. So I'd rather just have my teeth fixed, take it easy with competition, do instead of five to one or two, just to have a nice build and focus on really building a more solid foundation for my blue belt, purple belt skills. You know, be very good at leg locks, breaking ribs, going towards the back. That's going to be my game now, but I need to be better.
Mm,
Um, Especially now that we switched gyms. When it comes to dancing, it's going to be I need to find a place where I can do both stylistic choreography dancing, because I would like to continue with Afro dance. Plus,
mm,
I would like to do salsa and bachata again and kizomba because I haven't done it in years. And I don't want to
mm.
be, just a guy that can do fundamentals anymore. I want to evolve again because
What would you advise, Ryan, to people who have two left feet, who don't know anything about dance? Where
well,
should
first
they
things
begin?
first. First things first. Bro, have you ever considered just line dancing? Just, or look at your heritage or whatever, or do merengue. It's literally the most easiest dance to learn. It's like a 1 2 1 2 1
One,
2.
two, buckle my shoe.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy. And here's the thing: is it that you have two left feet, or are you limiting yourself in experiencing the joy of dancing because for some reason someone or yourself,
Yeah.
or you
It
convince
can be an
yourself.
excuse, you're right. Yeah, it can be a
I
rationalization
mean,
for sure.
I'll never forget. I was in the car. I was going to my first prom because in Suriname you had a prom every quarter or something, which was fantastic. And it was less about what you wore, more you having fun. And I remember my dad asking me, "Bro, quick question before you get out of the car. Do you even know how to dance?" And I said, "No, Dad, I'll figure it out as I go, which has been my philosophy for a while. And then he let me just listen to the radio and let me understand just through, the flicking of
Mm,
his finger or clicking of his
mm,
finger to understand that if you just make a move on a beat, suddenly you have a dance. And I'm
yeah,
like, oh, so if I just repeat a sequence, you have a dance. Exactly, Ryan.
right.
And bit by bit, I'm
This is
doing
really
it.
good for analytical guys too to like kind of get that. That
Well,
that's powerful.
yeah. So what I'm doing these days is I'm doing Afrofusion, and I'm doing it
Mm.
with 20 different women, and I'm the only dude there, and I need to stay locked in because everybody's wearing yoga pants. Not including me, of course, because that's not my style.
That's an ultimate test, Ryan G.
Right. I need to, because I said I paid for the lesson. I don't want to be distracted. And I have an ego thing at the moment where I'm like, okay, you guys have been doing this for 4 years, but I'm gonna fucking figure out how to do it. At minimum as good as you guys. I don't know how, but we'll figure this
Mandatory
out.
dance costumes. That's what
Yeah.
they need to do.
Yeah, but anyway, it's gonna be less about a ego issue and more of a skill issue, because the more I
Hmm.
practice it, the more I understand analytically where the dance and the music is coming from. Only thing I need to do is, you know, study a frame. Like, oh, his body is moving like this. Oh, so this is how the teacher's doing it, but this is how I want to do it because it needs to
Mm.
make sense for me as an individual. And because I have a bit of
Right.
a suave
I think
background
that's a
in dancing,
big point you just made because a
do
lot of
tell.
people will just copy the instructor that is dancing and then they won't make it their own move. So they'll just try to imitate. And of course, we do that as children, like we learn through imitation. But there also comes a point where you start adding something that is very uniquely your style that
Hmm.
comes through in that movement, I think. So, yeah, that's a really
Um,
powerful element to it.
if I look at what the teacher does and what I do, we're technically doing the same step, but I just feel so nonchalant about it. I'm
Oh,
still doing the
it's the
steps.
vibe.
It's just, bro, I'm not gonna waste energy because, we might be dancing for 5 hours. If you want to go nuts, go nuts. I want to, even if I'm gonna do a big movement, I'm just gonna start like a quarter
There's
of a
a
second
big
over
diff.
earlier, you know?
Yeah, man.
And also, I
There's
mean,
like
for
a
but
there's like a huge difference, I would say, to dancing as an expression and then like dancing as you have to dance or like you're pushed to dance or like
well,
you're in a situation
learn the
where
rules to
you're
break the
going to
rules.
have to.
That's my opinion. If let's say I join
Mm.
a company, the first 3 months, I'm only focused on being very textbook about everything. I need to know who I need to talk to, what I need to do, how I need to get something done, etc. And then bit by bit, I'll figure out the loopholes. Because the first,
11-11.
well, there you
Yeah.
go.
Spinal
This,
was yeah,
ah,
that just
I'll
came up.
hold that thought.
Yeah.
You have to know the rules to break the rules, and then I need to like figure out, okay, one iteration, finish, fantastic. Now I want to go. Now it's effective. Now I want to go efficient. And now instead of a straight line, I'm gonna slither like a snake, figuring out
Yes.
all the fucking loopholes to get the job done. Save time be busy with more fun things, make sure I can save my ass and plant ambushes in case there's idiots, which there will be,
mm,
and just
mm,
get the job done. And when it comes to the
mm.
spinal thing, well, snakes are all spine. I
Right.
recommend everybody, especially those that are over 25, invest in spinal health. Figure it out. You want a
Mm,
flexible spine, you want a strong spine. And see how the
yeah.
muscles and tendons affect the spine. Thinking of
Yeah,
that, I
man.
think I'm gonna hire one of the strength and conditioning coach for a quick 250 a month or
Hey,
something.
maybe
Have
there's
him.
such a thing as a spinal health coach, Ryan. Just look it up. I mean, I'm sure it's
Might be,
there.
might be.
I would think that, I started to do this in the gym, dead hangs with just and then like undulating my spine as
Mm,
I'm hanging. Now that really helped me understand the connection from the top part of my body and my musculature system and the bottom
interesting.
and how it's connecting. So,
Interesting.
as Mathis is saying too, I mean, really, really powerful. He got guided to do Tai Chi and Qigong with
Mm,
HIIT workouts and EMS,
mm.
so electric muscle stimulation.
So wait a minute.
So
If you're doing qigong with a hit workout, are you doing the qigong fast or are you doing the qigong in combination with the hit workout? Answer later. Because it looks funny
that's
to me,
powerful
like,
though.
fucking, because then it becomes like you're crumping, or like
Yeah.
really like a karateka,
Hey,
like
this
really
is
like
Primal
intense
Sutra, bro.
muscle, like
We're
really
like
just
the
intense.
Edo Portal of spirituality, but yeah.
Exactly.
Um, Bridges and stuff. Uh, did the stuff
Which
Sumedh said
which
in the
again
gym. Yeah.
brings us back to the product we've launched. Could you tell us more about that, Sumit, and what it has to do with this topic today?
Yeah, definitely. So for the Vajra Life Course or the Spiritual Mastery Challenge, you have 5 days. So we're focusing on all five bodies of mastery. So physical body, mental body, emotional body, energetic body, and spiritual body. And you will start to basically understand and gain momentum through many different things. There's aura maxing, there is manifestation using your solar
Hmm?
plexus, and many other things. And I would definitely say if you don't know anything about Primal Sutra and you just want to f find out what it's about, and this is just a free 5 day course.
Hmm.
So if that resonates with you, maybe you will join
A matter of
our
fact, the reason
ADEPS
why I
program, which
want
is,
the
yeah.
viewers to, at very minimum, check it out is even I'm going to do it, and I'm one of the guys that created this. Because for me,
Hmm,
it will be the moment I have done one iteration, I'm gonna turn it into, for myself, into a compact 1 hour routine for myself. So instead of doing it
hmm.
for 5 days, it's gonna be a 1 hour thing to get my
To integrate all
mind,
five
body,
days. Yeah.
exactly, just 1 hour, bap. And my only focus
Mm,
is to simplify to the point where it's easy for me to have an upkeep of skill while getting
mm,
skillful. And that's gonna
mm,
be like an hour of becoming the priest piece or the savage shaman.
mm,
So shoot, whatever I have to face for that day is then included in whatever I'm doing. So again, whatever surprises or something that I had planned, I'm going to devour it because everything you should be
mm,
able to do as a mystic, as a beast, or the combination of, take that however you will, you can use it through whatever knowledge that we have given in this system. Now, could you tell me a little bit more about the system? Is it for free? Is
yeah,
it it's completely for free. So here's the thing.
it's for free.
If if I who invested like my blood, sweat, and tears and my own money into this is going to do this, I'm going to do this, right?
Mm,
And just gonna take that knowledge for myself like I'm my own student and apply it. Why would you guys not sign up for it at that point? I mean, listen,
right.
if you want to have an easier life, do it. If you want to have a hard life without the knowledge, figure it out yourself then, my man. It's
Mm.
yeah. And
Yeah.
plus, you, assuming you guys are adults, or identify as adults at the very least, It is of my opinion that all shamans need to take responsibility for whatever they're
Okay.
doing. We cannot
Yeah.
blame our circumstances, the spirits we work with, our family, the people we work with, etc., for the nonsense in our lives. Right? It's complete ownership as per Jocko Willings, right? Heavily recommend you read that book again. And in this year, it is also your responsibility to weave in and out of the bullshit, the victories, and make sure it
Mm,
somehow works for you because it's on you. It is completely on you. And we've heard it many a times from influencers, from coaches,
yeah,
etc. But it's only you can save you. Even while I'm
that's
saying
right.
that, I'm technically talking to myself because I have enough shit to do. I have people to save, and some of them do not want to be saved. But if I don't set up certain things around them, they might either die or worse.
Mm,
And I have to do this from a place of abundance, which means I know I'm not going to be thanked for it, so I'm going to do this for the betterment of whatever situation that I find myself in.
mm.
And
Call myself a jade face roller.
hey, oh, which reminds me, all abundance comes from self-care. That's one of the things I realized. You should think snakes shedding skin is a self-care thing. Do whatever
Mm,
you need to do to be your best. I
mm.
believe I forgot his name, but I know it
Yeah.
has sugar in it. It's one of those pimps. He's like many music videos as well.
Sugar
Like
free, sugar free.
that's the one, sugar free,
Mm,
sugar free. I
totally.
don't know why I keep forgetting his name. I learned it from him where he said, "Listen, and I'm gonna be a little bit PC this time, which is a rare occasion for me.
I have a theory, Ryan G. I think you might be addicted to sugar, my friend.
And you know, I think I am. I think I am.
Yeah, bruh.
I think I am.
Man's
That's
admits to it.
if I have one vice, it's sugar. I don't even do drugs. It's
Mm,
just well, my one vice is just getting, sugar. I need it a little bit a day. Anyway, the,
yeah.
the the thing that he said was, how can I have hoes who have better self-care than me? That's not possible. My nails need to be better done. The clothes that I wear need to be of higher value. It needs to suit me better. My hair needs to be better done. Because how can I manage their money and I'm not even taking care of myself? It doesn't even make sense.
Mm. It kind of
And
flips the script on a lot of what people are saying. But there would be a difference, Ryan G, to flaunting that in order to get a result than naturally self-care, like
yeah,
maximization,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
How would you
yeah, that's what I'm going
differentiate the
for.
two?
Well, to give an example, today or yesterday, I got a package with my new leather trench coat jacket. And
Mhm,
although I got it as per described, I am missing certain personal elements. It's not
mhm,
quite what I wanted. I did pay for it. It is
mhm,
actual leather. It is actual high quality leather, and I'm like, this element missing. I just don't know what. So for myself, I'm gonna go to a tailor and then request the inside to be tailored with patterns. It's gonna be like a black thing with dragons
mhm,
or something. I'm gonna pay for it, but now it's more customized and maybe even make it a little bit shorter because now it's reaching my calves and it's a little bit annoying. So I'm gonna make it a little bit
mhm.
shorter, make it just above my knee so I can kick a motherfucker when I need to. And this is gonna be for me. But besides that, also facial self-care and sugar intake, being a little bit aware that when I want sugar, what I really want is magnesium. What are all the magnesiums I
Mhm.
need to take? Fantastic. Or be aware of when do I feel like I have a sugar craving. And instead of buying a big pack of chocolate, I just buy a very mini pack. And instead
Yeah.
of taking the whole thing, I just take one row or whatever. and not the whole
Mm,
thing. It's just
yeah.
building it out. And meanwhile, every time I want carbs, getting better carbs. How about sweet potato? And when you tend to want bread, apparently you would tend to want meat products, Weizen, dairy, whatever. So it's all about using this year to really get to know what I need. Exactly. The magnesium shifted a lot of things for me. So what I definitely recommend, at least for sleep, and I got this in
Magnesium body lotion, yo.
magnesium body lotion.
Definitely.
And for those of you who
It
are
absorbs right
Virgos,
into the skin. Really powerful.
yes. For those of you who are Virgos, especially, and those of you who what's it called again? Train a lot. After a warm shower or bath, magnesium. Put it on the
Good for
armpits or
sleep.
anywhere. Uh,
Yeah.
let's do a little bit PC this time. Anywhere where the skin is a little bit thinner, take that as you will.
Mm.
Definitely apply the
Mm.
magnesium. Don't me, not when I said that.
No, well, the guides are telling me some message. So basically,
Okay.
they're saying that
Hmm.
loneliness is a silent killer,
Yes, it
and
is.
people who are lone wolves have to understand that
Yeah. Well,
the
we
more
are
he
from
seeks
nature.
love, the more it evades him. So this chasing or never feeling enough comes from seeking connection towards
Yes.
another person. So I think
Yes.
they're trying to say feel fully connected and alive as you are,
This
because
is
alone is all one.
very similar to the when a female needs to feel safe, right? If that comes from a let's imagine it in the worst case scenario, it's just like a father wound. I believe I've read it somewhere. I don't know the author of this quote, but it has a lot to do with women who have, especially father wounds, will seek men who can fulfill the role of her father. The problem is because she has such an idealized idea of it, mirroring her male counterpart, that where he seeks connection, she seeks safety. But until she has healed that wound to whatever extent, she, you know, will keep seeking her idealized version of what that man is, but that man does not exist because that man is
Mm,
the father or the fatherly love she never received, which is a
mhm.
rough one. And this is a perfect year
Yeah.
to do that level of shadow work for the women
Right. I
who,
mean, just going from external security
mm,
to internal security is such a powerful shift already because you're not
mhm,
constantly attaching and like needing the validation from others. You're like sort of in your own lane now. You're in your own league, and
mhm,
it's about owning it until you hone it, right? So whenever
yeah,
something comes up, you got to ride the wave of that until it fizzles out or dissolves in a sense. Don't be attached to it. Don't be like, oh, this one thing happened that, I can't get out of my head because I keep, buying storage space in my mind. They keep living rent free in my head, these people. And I would tell you that you need to
mm,
understand that there is this little boy or little girl inside of you,
yes,
and the job isn't to fix him or her, it's to reclaim
yes,
them.
yes. So what I want you to do, one, see if you can find a black skull candle on Etsy or something. Buy it,
Let's
maybe
let's
send it.
stop that there, Ryan, because the guides are saying not to reveal our secrets too much.
Ah, well, too bad.
Ryan
You gotta
wants to
do
give
it.
everything to you guys. You see that? Like we just want to give
Ah,
we just want to share the love, be the
hmm.
love, as one of our best mentors would say. And the thing is, I think that
Hmm.
the process of doing something to change an outcome is linking back to quantum entanglement. So
Hmm.
if you, on another side of the world, are you pretend that your friend is this beanie baby and you keep it in your room, you are technically creating their energy signature in your space. So their energies are going to be around you because that item reminds you psychically of them. And so it's really important even how what are we holding on to still, as the snake? That's what I've been thinking
Mm.
about. Like, what am I just clinging to so tightly, like it's a part of
Well,
my identity and image?
as per your episode this morning,
Mm,
a messy room is an indication of childhood issues still needing to
mhm.
be processed. And for those of you, like me, who have for some reason, I have trouble cleaning my room. It's just so confrontational. I like really need to like sit, take apart one piece and just clean it up, and then I'm just worn out. And then next week, do the same thing, other part. And then, yes, it feels like
Yeah,
change of being released, but man, it is a rough
yeah.
period. In the
I
same
mean,
way
that
I,
strategy of not like escaping into our rooms, eating there, doing everything there, away from maybe the family drama at the time or whatever.
yeah,
And we became habituated, let's just say, to that way of being. So I think that once we acknowledge the resistance that comes
mm.
up from the confrontation of this, we'll be able to absolutely overcome it. Yeah.
What I recommend is definitely a clean house. What I also recommend is for those of you who are in a more colder climates, and that's what I did, all my summer clothes, even the ones I don't
Yeah.
like, put them in a bag, put them somewhere that I just can't see them. Making my, yes, that's correct, double E. Your room is also your body. Again, relating back to how
Mhm.
the body, the gut is connected to your intuition, and this is one of the missions of, for me this year, really getting in
Mm.
tune with my intuition, which means I need to have a clean room, cleaner or more organized room. Right now, it's an organized mess. I know where everything is. If you look at it, you'll understand what I mean. Um, and get better
Yeah,
clothes.
but you could just like for instance, what I do is I just blast some music that's usually not my genre, and it just puts me into a different altered state of
Yes.
consciousness. And once I'm there, then I just take a big trash bag and anything that's just trash, I just throw it away. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
use something like a protocol like that where it can be very easy for you to evolve into it and
Yeah.
not this forced like mechanism thing of like every
Well,
time I'm stressed, I'll
you
behave like this, or like
and maybe think
press the
about
X button, you get Y, Yeah.
reorganizing your altars, Because right now, as you
Oh,
said it, I'm
totally.
thinking
I do it
about getting
constantly.
a device
Yeah.
where I can link it with my laptop and all the toys that I have that like a fan and an
Yeah.
LED spaceman that gives like the cosmos light, and then connected with that.
Yeah.
And thereby connecting electricity to my altars, and maybe if I have the time, figure out a way with my little brother to organize all my Funko Pops and all the Funko Pops I don't need, give it to him or give it to kids, what or collectors or
Donate,
whatever.
donate your old clothes, man. It's really
Yeah,
important, especially if
yes,
once you grow older, you haven't
but not
thrown
today or
away a lot of
tomorrow.
things from childhood. Yeah, I mean, not today or tomorrow. Right, right.
Not
According
today
to
or
the rules.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Don't just
Don't
keep
break the
yourself safe.
rules. Yeah.
What I definitely recommend as well is this is a great year to do
Mm.
ancestral healing. Try
Oh
to
yeah.
close loops that you're not aware of that you might have inherited through your
Mm.
DNA or spiritual lineage, etc. What I also
Mm.
recommend is if you can find closure for past relationships or whatever, do that. If you need to talk to people that have wronged you or might have slighted you in some way, see if you can close the loop either with them or by yourself. I would also recommend doing any quantum K things and cord cutting in whatever form you see fit. We, of course, have our own style that might be more efficient than yours. Not joining the effectivity because it's a Either zero it didn't work, or one it worked, you know? Anything else would be this is a year I'll be focusing heavily on my Mars energy, which means I'm going to be investing in a lot of red accessories, red
Mm.
beads, red things, maybe red shoes or something. Um, and that also means that I need to connect way more with Tezcatlipoca, Sun Knight, my root chakra deity, as well as Ganesha, because I work with him a lot. Maybe also consider his Jambala counterpart, you know, the red Jambala, etc., the yellow Jambala, you know, and King Jin, as well as working more with Akura and the Naga lineage as well, you know,
This is
and
a
then
Naga
see how
year, so
this is
yeah.
a Naga year exactly. But unfortunately, we're not going to a Naga place, which would have been Bali. It would have been
Ah,
nice. It really
Nagas in
depends.
Paris.
Nagas and Bears, right? We're heading to Sedona, so once we have once we have all of the things settled, especially with TXL, the website will be updated, which is will be my responsibility. And if you want to have a smart investment in your spirituality this year, I highly recommend you take the current program we're offering, both the free as well as the Adept program. The choice is always yours.
Join the vortex, man. It's a vortex. You join and you'll find out.
Yes.
Fuck around and find out. Let's go.
Anything else you would like to share before we end the podcast?
No, man, I think we did good. Be wise, stay healthy.
Hmm.
Don't overindulge in things. Don't try to get sidetracked too much.
Hmm.
This is a lock-in year. Okay, lock-in alien. Let's get it. Okay, and tapped in alien. Let's get it.
Indeed.
Let's be unrecognizable this year, Ryan G. I want to have people look and see that we've made some massive changes and results, and they can tell from our beingness that
Mm,
we've been diving deep and
mm,
doing the inner work, and it shows.
mm.
So
That
yeah,
being said, my name is Ryan G, with my co-host and co-founder of Primal Sutra on the GPS. On this GPS episode, I wish you the very best. May your life never be the same. And while it's still free, get on that program.
spiritualmasterychallenge.com.